Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and it's time to talk about a problem that's been going in Hearthstone basically forever, almost forever. It's something you can't really get around, but it's gotten really bad. It's gotten really bad lately, and it's hurting people at all levels of Hearthstone, I honestly believe, and I think Blizzard needs to step up a little bit on this and put an end to it. At least, I mean, you can't put a complete end to it, but at least do something to minimize what's happening. And what are we talking about? We're talking about botting in Hearthstone, and this goes back. You can view, if you just search it in YouTube, botting in Hearthstone, you get like old crypt videos, you get Dane videos, you get bot videos throughout the history of Hearthstone. And what exactly is botting in Hearthstone? Well, there's different versions of it, but basically you program your game to either have like auto inputs to basically auto play the game. And we've seen bots that auto play like Odd Paladin in Wild. We've seen it. Typically they would bot aggro decks and just spam it. And the reason they would do this was to farm gold, the 10 gold per win back in the day, because every 3 wins you would get 10 gold and it would max at 100. And people would just bought this with aggro decks and they would eventually get it. They would leave their account open and get it. And there was plenty of times on my wild legend climbs, I would queue into the same Jimmy bot that would play like Murloc Paladin or Odd Paladin or even Shaman. Always the same guy, always would do the same turns every time. Like every turn was procedural. It would like activate the exact turn, attack the exact same way. It would make the same misplays every time. And that was that. But those bots would actually get legend. They would actually get legend over time. And that was the old bot. And honestly, those were more tolerable. They would actually play Hearthstone. They would actually play turns out. They wouldn't rope you. And I feel like those bots, if there were ever a healthy bot for the game, those weren't big offenders. But it's gotten really bad. It's gotten really bad with the introduction of the Battle Pass. Because the Battle Pass changed how XP and rewards are granted. No longer do you get 10 gold per 3 wins. No, you get gold based on every level you gain, which is based on XP. And well, this XP system since day one has basically gone on how long your games are and how much you play. And guess what? People bought accordingly. They bought it to win 3 games for 10 gold, or 30 games total in a day. And now they bought to rope and make the game horrible for everybody. And it has been this way since the Battle Pass launched. And if you go back 6 months ago, I made this video where I said ways to fix the Battle Pass. And a lot of these have been implemented, by the way. We were on to some stuff. I'll link it below if you want to check it out. Obviously, they didn't take all of our ideas, but they took some. But one of the big things was not to incentivize ropers, because it makes an awful play experience. Because even back then, this video was like a week or 2 after the Battle Pass launch, we were running into roping bots. And what they would do is they play Odd Warrior and just hit the button every turn. After whether it's like the rope is about to extend or hit the end, they hit the button and pass. They will never play a card. These bots don't really play cards. They don't do anything. They just hero power and pass. And yeah, you eventually get the win if you stick it out, but it's going to take you a long time. It's going to ruin your whole gameplay experience, and it's awful. And this has been brought to the attention of Ixar and many other devs on Twitter, and for the most part, it's been ignored. There was one post, I think one tweet by Ixar here that stated that we ban bots somewhat regularly. To my understanding, people make bots that are smart. You do something to ban bots, they adapt new bots, the cycle continues. We did research recently to look into the issue of players roping for more XP or botting more XP. Turns out there hasn't been much of a difference between before and after progression was released. And this was back in January. This is about a month after the Battle Passes came out. And I honestly don't believe this. I really don't. If you've been watching my streams at all, I've been achievement hunting. We got like 25,000 achievement points recently, but to do this, I've been playing decks that don't win. They just get achievements done, and I've dumpstered my MMR to a very low point that I queue into these bots somewhat regularly, not like infrequently, regularly. And if you ever watch a Mark stream where he's trying his janky combos, he's always playing at low MMR, and he queues into these bots all the time. And this video, by the way, is inspired by a Reddit thread made by Anon Hearthstone, so known as Takan on Twitter, that he estimates that 20% of lower ranked Wild Asia are now roping bots. And I agree with him on this point. Like, he goes through his experience. I'll link this thread below if you want to read it. It's really good. He basically says he made a bot. He leveled from 48 to 61 with no problem. 38% win rate, but still climbed from silver 5 to 2, and 26 out of 127 games were against another bot. Basically, low ranks, the bots are extremely prevalent, and 26 out of 127 games is an unacceptable mark. And the reason this sucks is because it really craps on new players, or players that just want to have fun, want to meme it up, right? Their MMR is going to be bad. They're not tryharding. They're not playing good decks that win a lot. They're playing a Mark combo that will win 1 out of 20 games, but it's a lot of fun. But that fun is really ruined if every, like, what, 1 out of 3 games you're queuing into a bot that's going to rope you every turn. I guess you can just concede. I guess you can just move on, but it really shouldn't be a thing. And if Ixar or the devs did say back in January that it doesn't seem like there's more of these bots than before, well, that's pretty much not true at this point. If these numbers are to be believed, and I do believe them considering my experience and what I've heard, I get asked in my chat all the time, Zeddy, what can I do about bots in Hearthstone? And I don't even know. Like, I think there's a report feature, but you have to go into the BattleNet and try, I think, go to your last opponent and then right click and then go to report and then send something you'll never hear back about Blizzard from. Like, honestly, I know the technology is there that they could just add like a report feature in game, like on like your recent players list where somebody adds you, right? And they flame you, call you horrible things, which we get complaints about all the time. You can report them for griefing, you can report them for harassment, or you can report someone for botting. And I feel like if they're worried about, you know, the bots adapting and being hard to pick out, add a report feature in the game so that you can report people for botting. It's automatically done in game, and then they can investigate and then clear out these bots so the gameplay experience isn't terrible for people. And I think that would do a lot of good, and it would also just be good for the other things, as I mentioned, for harassment, for other things like that, because how many players have had somebody flame them after adding them for beating them and saying horrible things, like really awful stuff I can't say on YouTube? And I think these things could tie together. You could like kind of nip this in the bud. Someone keeps saying I say butt, so I'm gonna say nip it in the bud and get this problem taken out, because it's just too easy to bot. If this guy was able to just make a bot and go from like a 40% win rate, you can just bot and just have it hero power and grief people. It's just not great. And people are going to continue to do this. There's no reason not to do it. People aren't punished for it. And the battle pass incentivizes roping, taking forever on your turns. And I don't think that's a healthy thing for the game. I don't think that's anything we want in the game. And I don't think the devs want it either. It's just, I know that there's a million things going on, and I'm sure if they ask Big Daddy Activision for the funding for this little bit of resource to put towards this new feature on the friends list or report, they're probably gonna be like, well, you could, you know, sell packs instead. But I think for the benefit of everybody, it'd be a really good thing, and I want to bring this to the attention of everybody. This thread did very well on Reddit. I think Clark Hellscream made a video on it as well, but I thought, you know, we're a pretty decent voice on the YouTube community out there, and I thought I would share this, that this should get fixed. Not saying it needs to be done immediately. This isn't like horrible corrupt Blizzard, cancel Blizzard, but no, it's something that just makes the gameplay experience for everybody and would be nice to get rid of out of the game so people can play at lower ranks and not worry about getting roped every single turn and being frustrated about it, and incentivizing people to do, you know, garbage things just to squeeze out some gold for some, you know, either the packs or the new portraits in that. And hopefully they look into it. I'll probably bring it up when Ixar returns on his next AMA, and we'll see how that goes. But share this as much as you can, and hopefully the botting problem gets fixed. And it's mostly in Wild. You don't really see it much in Standard. People, they try hard on their Standard rank and then do it in Wild. But let me know if you're running into bots, if this is a problem you would like to see fixed. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.